Welcome to anybody joining in late. We're just getting started now. My name is Terri. Most of you know me already. Our aim today is to feel better in our bodies when we leave practice. So let's close our eyes. Find a deep breath, one that is a cleansing breath to let go of anything that we're hanging on to that we're ready to let go of. And as we bring our focus here to the present moment, we feel the physical sensations of breath in our body, the rise and fall of our chest and our belly. Feeling free to move around a little bit to make sure you feel balanced in your seated position. Equal weight on both sitting bones and not leaning forward or back, not bringing your chin up too high or too low. And as we settle into that deep, full breath, we allow ourselves to soften. We ask our minds to clear. We release any stuck emotions and any tenderness or tightness on the surface in our bodies. Maybe we even take a journey from the crown of our head down to our feet, just checking in. At the beginning of each class, we have the opportunity to set an intention, a focus. It can be a personal affirmation or thoughts for someone in your life, or just the general idea that we want to feel better when we leave class. But it's going to be our focus if our mind begins to wander. So think for a moment, find your words, and take your 3 breaths. At the end of that 3rd breath, we're going to start to move our neck. So taking your gaze side to side, just warming the neck. Just gently bringing the chin toward each shoulder. And then coming back to center and taking the chin down, chin up. Letting the back of the neck begin to warm. And then we're going to go from one shoulder, so let's start with our chin to the right. Let's take it around and down. So it's a half circle motion, back and forth. Continuing to breathe, deep and full. Let's go one more of those. Beautiful. Back to center. Reach those arms out to your sides. Take a big inhale up. Lift with your breath. Reach, stretch, exhale. Fully out. Let's take a couple more of those. Adding in some wrist and elbow movement whenever it feels right to you. And now we're going to take that breath up and we're going to start to twist on the exhale. So just a gentle to one side, warming up the spine. Back to center when you're ready, and the other way. Let's go one more each direction. And then we're going to come back to center. Inhale it up. And we're going to reach out about halfway. So engage your core, align your ears with your arms, reach. Maybe even add a wiggle. Starts to warm up. You can feel that in my sitting bone area, my hips. And then when you're ready, bring it back and do it again. Lift up. Big inhale up, reach out, extend away from your body and hold. Doing that one more time. And this time fold it all the way down to the floor. or however far down you can get, and begin to feel that lower half of your body a little more by maybe you walk your hands way out in front, or maybe you walk them over to the side, or maybe you're just shifting your weight, whatever feels right, loosening up the hips, glutes, and low back area. And then slowly walk it up. We're going to put our hands on our knees, and we're going to start a circular motion with our torso. So just start to go in a big circle one direction. One more this way, and then circle the other way. A little lubrication for the spine and waking up those hips. Last one. Beautiful. Back to center. One arm comes up. We reach it to the sky. Doesn't matter which one. Lift, stretch, spread your palms, and then lean it over to the other side. And then when you're ready, switch and do the other arm. Lift it up, reach it up, spread those fingers, and lean. A couple more at your own pace. Last one, each way. Nice. Coming back to center. We're going to reach those arms out, warming the arms now. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a circle pattern, maybe forward, maybe back. It doesn't matter where you start. Tight, tiny circles. Waking up those arms. Might be a little toning here, but we'll call it warming. And then we're going to take it the opposite direction. And then we're going to shake it out. Let's draw the elbow away from the shoulder, stretching that arm, and now start to add a little more neck. Maybe you want to do a little ear to shoulder here. As you stretch out that arm, you can take that arm deeper. And then we're going to go to the other side. Each one of these beginning moves gives us a clue to what's happening in our body. Take that arm deeper if you choose. Noticing our tight spaces or our tender spots. And release. All right, reaching behind, we're going to open up the chest. So either make fists or interlace those fingers at your tailbone. Open the chest, draw the shoulder blades back, make your trench. Extend your arms if you're able, or just keep them at your tailbone and draw the elbows behind you. Breathe. We want to build some strength here between our shoulder blades, put us in better posture. And then we're going to release and bring them forward, round forward. Reach through those fingertips. And then draw the shoulder blades back and down. Take the chin to the chest, reach again. Should be felt across your shoulders and through the arms. And release. Shake it out. We're going to go to standing now. So work your way up to standing. And move my microphone up so you can hear me. Hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. All right, we are going to go with waking up the feet first. So coming balls of the feet and rocking back to heels. Balls of the feet, rocking back to heels. Yeah. So you can take that way up and edge your arms if you want, or just keep it real simple. I'm on a little bit of a slant here for those of you who don't know, so sometimes I end up rocking backwards a little too much. One more up and down. All right, spread those toes, work those ankles around, maybe circle the knees, circle the hips. Make it feel good in your body. Just moving that around. And then we're going to go and do some moving chairs. So we're going to take the arms up, and we're going to sink it back and down. Warming up the quads. Two more. Now let's sink it back and hold it in a chair. So our weight's going to go to our heels. We're going to lift our torso up, put the weight back, breathe. And then we're gonna balance the chair, so lift those heels, come onto the balls of our feet. Try to hold that nice tall position for your spine and breathe again. And release. All right, we're gonna take it wide, moving our way to some sunflowers to loosen everything. So go ahead and rock your weight side to side, wake up those feet. Wake up those inner legs. Make sure the knees are tracking out in the same direction as your feet. Maybe go up and down a few times. Sometimes that really helps to warm my legs before we go into sunflowers. It lets my hips get all their pops out of the way. So when you feel like you're in the right position for you, we're going to start some sunflowers. Just a reminder that when we go up and then we sink down, we're going to bring our head away from our body like we were when we were seated, leaning out. So don't just come down and hinge at the hips. Take it up, sink it down, and lean out. Really work to build some core strength there. So here we go. Two more. Now we're going to add some rotation. So choose a side, take it up and around, big circle, bending the knees. Two more. And then go the opposite direction. So take your circles the opposite way. Two more. And we're going to take it around and sink. Hold your goddess. Arms could be at heart center or out. Let's take it from our lowest position here and go down just a little more, adding a pulse. And then we're going to take hands to knees, take those knees wider, brace yourself and take that stretch where we take our gaze and our shoulder and bring them toward the opposite knee, letting our knees go wider as we do that. Take the other side when you're ready. Back and forth, one more time, big stretch for the side of your body. And last side. Now, you're close to the floor maybe, hands come down, feet go parallel, wide-legged forward bend. Let yourself hang. Make sure the feet are firmly planted. Take them as wide as you need to. Try to straighten the legs, get your hamstring stretch. Now let's see if we can play with moving our hands around and changing that stretch in our legs. So let's take it forward first. Walking forward, pressing those heels down. Maybe you'll get an Achilles or a back of the heel stretch or even a calf stretch. Couple breaths here. And then we're going to walk it back to center. Choose a side and take your hands over toward that side. Keeping your legs straight if you can. And then other side. And then coming back to center, we're going to walk our hands under our legs behind us. Maybe even turn it so the palms are pressing into the floor and your wrist creases are facing you. Well, not facing you, but you're facing your wrist. How's that? Press down, stretch. And then we're going to come back and we're going to add a little twist. So plant a hand and open up. Side to side, moving that hand closer to the opposite ankle if you want to deepen your stretch. One more time each way. Whichever foot of yours is facing the front of your mat, turn that foot and come around into runner's lunge. Wiggling that around so it feels good. Maybe your foot needs a little more work. Maybe the hip flexor on the whatever leg is extended behind you needs a little stretch. Just stay in that runner's lunge for a moment, shifting positions, and then when you're ready, switch. Step back, step forward. Opposite side gets a turn to be the leg in front. And we move and press and stretch. And then we're going to rock forward, front of the mat, forward fold. Feet are hips distance apart. And we're pressing into that floor or the block. Another back of the leg hamstring stretch. Let's go up halfway. Really extend your body, your spine away from your body. Turn your gaze side to side for your neck. Back to the floor in that forward fold. Bend the knees, press down through the feet, take it all the way up. We're going to do a little one-legged balance here to warm the hip flexor. So reach the arms to the sky, shift to the right. Hang on to something if you need to, but lift that left leg up for a moment. We're going to breathe here. You can add on more if you want to challenge your balance. If this is easy for you, circle your ankles, circle your wrists. Add some movement in as you breathe. We're going to lower the hands down to heart center and take the knee out to the side, back to center. Nice and slow. Opening up and warming up that hip. Beautiful. Now let's reach for the floor. Open the chest. And we're going to circle this knee. So let's take it 6 times in each direction. It's okay if you wobble. It's okay if you have to hang on. We're mostly just trying to warm that hip flexor. So go 6 the other way. Beautiful. Shake it out. Gonna get ready for the other side now. I can definitely feel my hip flexors when I do that work. So we're gonna raise our arms up again, shift to the left this time, raise that right knee up, add the movement if you choose. And then we're going to bring those hands down to heart center. Draw the knee out. Back in. One more. Now hands to the floor. Open that chest. Fire up the arms. Circle that knee. And the opposite direction. All right, shake that out. Coming into your mountain stance, front of the mat, check your position. Wake up your legs from your feet area all the way up, active and aligned. Shoulders up, back and down. We're going to reach for that floor again. Keep the back of the neck long. Bring our intention to mind as we stand in mountain, fully active, fully aligned, fully aware of our bodies. And now our intention. On your next inhale, lift the arms and work your way down to a forward fold. Halfway lift, extend, Now we're going to take hands to the floor, step the left leg back, runner's lunge, but only for a moment. Divide the weight equally between your legs. Use your front knee if you need it, otherwise press up, coming into a high lunge when you're ready. Checking that front knee, make sure you can see your first and second toe for position. And that back heel is lifted so the whole front of your left leg gets a stretch. That hip flexor is lengthening. One more breath here, and then we're going to take a twist. So you have options. You can stay balanced here and twist right. You can lower the left knee and twist right, or you can place a hand on the inside of the right foot and twist right. Think about what feels good to you. Maybe even play with the motion for a moment, and then settle into your twist. We're going to take 5 full deep breaths here. Nice. Bring those hands on either side, rock it forward, forward fold again, shake it out. Lift the toes if you need to, wiggle the ankles. Sometimes mine like to lock up and I need to loosen again. When you're ready, take a halfway lift and then bring yourself back to the mat and step the right leg back. Same thing, opposite side, runner's lunge first to find your position, your balance, the extension of that back leg. And then when you're ready, work your way up to that higher lunge. Keeping that heel lifted, legs straight, and making sure you can see your first and second toe. Nice. One more breath here. And choose your twist to the left this time. Same 3 choices. This time, we're going to put our hands to the floor on either side of the front foot and step back to a plank. So you can take the knees down, you can go down to your forearms or dolphin arms, or you can stay up high. We're going to hold this one for 8 of my breaths. You don't need to count, just hold. Pull your belly button to your spine. If you're in full plank, press through your heels. Feel your power, and if you don't quite make it to 8, then we're going to move back to downward facing dog whenever you need to. Two more breaths. And lift, downward facing dog. Make it playful. Stretch the back of those legs from the heel all the way up. And then we're going to come forward into plank again, and this time we're going to lower all the way down, pressing our elbows toward the back of the mat. Coming down and then up into a cobra. Elbows tucked in, fingers spread, toenails on the mat, lift it up. Warm that low back with a cobra. Now bring it down to the mat. Rest your cheek for a moment on the mat. We're going to do that same cobra again, only this time I'm going to have you try to take some of the weight out of your arms so that you're not pressing up through your arms. Rather, you're on your fingertips or you're lifting off the ground so that you're putting more of that warm-up and that work into your back. So eyes on the mat in front, elbows in tight, lift up, and then take some of that weight out of your arms. Hold and breathe. Excellent. Press it back, child's pose. Knees wide or knees together, your choice. And we lift to all fours, tabletop. putting our shoulders above our wrists and our knees underneath our hips. We're going to find a little cow and cat. So from the base of your spine, lower that belly, raise the gaze, stretch it out. Cow, and then arch up into cat. Pull that belly button into the spine. Feel the stretch. Belly, low back, between the shoulder blades. Two more of each. And now we press up to a downward facing dog. This time try to make it a little more balanced. The weight should be equal on all four limbs. You can feel the stretch up your back and also down the backs of your legs. 4 breaths here. However you get that right leg forward, come into crescent lunge. So you can lower the left knee if you need to, or just swing it through and lift all the way up. Opening up the chest, leaning back if you can. Crescent lunge. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands into heart center here, and we're going to take that back knee and we're just going to add a little dip to it. Nice. And then hands back down, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice and balanced. However you get it forward, bring that left leg through, crescent lunge. Hands to heart center, dip that back leg. Ooh, 2 more. And then forward into forward fold. Halfway lift. Bend the knees, chair. Take the arms behind, palms face the floor, open the chest, airplane chair. And release, shake it out. Grab a drink if you need it. It's time for some sun salutations. Everything is warmed up, so we're going to work our way through. I'm going to step back one leg at a time, but you can make it harder and jump back if you want, and then jump forward, or you can hold a pose and not do as many sun salutations. I'm only going to do 4 in a row, so you can break that down however you want. I will call out what I'm doing for the first one, and then the next 3, do your own way. So there's no way to do it wrong. I just really want you to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses throughout the sun salutation, so you know what you're working with and what you need to work on. So coming into mountain, spread those toes. We started here before. Do the same. Work your way up from your feet, coming into full awareness and attention. On your next inhale, lift and begin the sun salutation. Working your way down to forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the floor. I'm going to start by stepping my right leg back and then my left, coming into plank. Pushing forward onto my toes and then lowering down, pressing my elbows to the back of the mat, choosing cobra, sphinx or up dog at the bottom, and then downward facing dog. And then right leg forward, because it was the one I'm working with, and then left, we're in forward fold again. halfway up, back to the floor, bend those knees, press down through the feet, and take it up. Now it's left turn side to lead. Here we go, do it your way, your speed. Don't worry about doing it wrong. And we do 2 more. The end of this next one, we will meet in forward fold at the front of the mat. So working your way to the front of the mat, forward fold. Let's take it up halfway. And we're going to sink back into chair again. Bringing our hands into heart center, lifting our spine, putting our weight to our heels. We're going to shift over to the right foot and either come up onto our left big toe or lift that foot off the ground altogether into one-legged chair. And then we're going to take that leg back into warrior 3. So if you have a wall or a chair in front of you, you can hang on. Extend that left leg, try to level out your hips, point the left toe down, any arms. Find your balance. 2 more breaths. And we're going to take that left leg and step back into warrior 2. Adjusting your position so that it aligns heel to arch or heel to heel, whatever's comfortable. Front knees bent over that front leg so you can see your first and second toe. And this time the hips and heart are going to face the long edge of your mat as you draw those arms out to the sides and draw them down away from the ears. We're going to go right into a side angle, bringing our right elbow to the right knee, or taking the hand further to the floor if you choose. Left hand to hip to start, opening the left side of the chest to the sky. And then if you want to, you can stay here or plug that arm in, thumb side up, draw it forward over the ear. Add on as much as you need to get a right hip opener and a big left side stretch. One more breath here. Now without pushing off from your knee, use your strength in your core to lift up. Extend your arm back to warrior 2. Arms to warrior 2. Flip that right palm up and do a reverse, reaching that right arm over your head or behind you a little if you can. Excellent. Hands come down. We lift that back heel. Rock forward, front of the mat, forward fold. Stretch it out. If your low back is bothering you, take your feet a little wider. Reach for opposite elbows. If your hamstrings are still tight, keep those hands pressing into the floor. All right, bringing those hands to the floor. Walk the feet into normal hips distance apart. We're going to inhale halfway up. Extend, and then we're going to sink into that chair again. We're gonna shift over to the left, either come onto the right big toe or lift it off the ground altogether, one-legged chair. One more breath here, and then we move into our warrior three, hanging on if we need to. The important part is to level the hips, stretch out the legs, build some strength there, and we breathe. Get ready and step it back, warrior two. Find your proper alignment. Moving over into our side angle, it's left elbow to left knee, right hand to hip to begin. Keeping the booty tucked, don't stick the booty out to get lower. You can plug in that arm over the ear or keep it at your waist. One more breath here, and then without powering up, by pressing elbow to knee, use your core, shift your weight back, warrior two. Flipping that left palm up, come into your reverse. And then bringing yourself back, rock it forward into a forward fold of whatever type feels right. 3 breaths. Inhale halfway. Back to the floor. Bend those knees and press all the way up. This time, interlacing those fingers, lifting and stretching the spine and taking a really big lean out to each side. Stretching those obliques. Let's go one more time in each direction. And release. Shake it out. I'm going to check the time here. It always goes faster than I want it to. Holy cow. Okay, let's see. All right. So we got a little bit of time here. We're going to go into some balance. Right now we're going to do double duty with our balance. We're going to, of course, when we balance, we build core strength, but we're also going to do a little opening through the hips. So we're going to go start in a tree. Remember, you can do floor, shin, or all the way up. We're going to do tree on each side, and then we're going to do a standing figure four. So again, more for the hips. You can take that standing figure four down. You can take it forward, all the way to the floor, or up into cradle the baby standard, getting your best left hip stretch. So first it's going to be a tree, hanging on to the wall or a chair. We're going to shift over onto the right side, take our left toes out to the side, and come in for tree. Turning that knee out is key to open the hip, and then you want to find a spot where you can find the midline of your body, press foot to leg, leg to foot, wherever that is. Stand up tall, choose any arms if this is easy for you. Add some moving arms as if the wind were blowing your trees, your tree limbs, and breathe. Here we go. Two more breaths. And release. Shaking that out. Switching sides. Shifting onto the left foot. Take the right toes out to the side. Point the knee out. Find your way to tree. Opposite side. Hugging in. Adding on any balance challenges you need. Here we go. Two more breaths. And release. All right, getting ready for that standing figure four now. It can even be just upright and ankle above knee, turning the knee out to the side if that feels like it's helping open your left hip. So coming into position with that left ankle above the right knee and working your way to your best left hip stretch. 8 breaths. Once we get there, I'll count. You just breathe. One more breath. And from wherever you are, release, shake it out, come back up to standing, and we'll try the other side. You always have one side that's easier to balance on, so never get mad at yourself if you're on the harder leg first. All right, so standing on your left side, we're gonna bring the right ankle above the left knee and work our way to standing figure four on this side, whatever feels like your best stretch. Does not have to be the same as what you did on the other side. Mine rarely is. Tune into your right hip and let it stretch. Two more breaths. Beautiful, and release, shake that out. All right, I don't know about you, but I can feel my hips now. I wanna make sure we stretch our quads because sometimes we just forget about that. So we're gonna do a little dancer pose, and you can hang onto the wall or the chair or not use anything at all. But we're gonna get our left foot into our left hand. That's the first part of this. So standing on your right, lift that left foot, bring it behind you. Let the connection of hand to foot keep opening the left side of your chest. And you're gonna point the knee down, gradually begin to bring it behind you and press foot into hand, stretching that arm out, drawing that knee toward your body if it wants to wing to the side, and then add an arm for some counterbalance if you need it. And continue to lift, finding your spot. Breathe. Dancer. Two more breaths. And release, shake that out. Hopefully you could feel that, the hip flexor and the quad on the left leg. Now let's shift over to the left standing leg and bring the right foot up and stretch the other side. Same thing, we bring that knee down, point it back behind, press foot into hand, let it, find your balance, let it extend that right arm behind you for a stretch. Then add your left arm when you're ready, and breathe. Two more breaths. And release. Shake that out. All right, we're going to do some eagle arms. So I'm going to give you options for your legs. You can go wide. In your squat kind of legs, you can do a chair, or you can come and wrap and go all the way so that you're wrapping arms and legs in a full position. So whatever you choose to do here, we're gonna go with eagle. Get the arms out to the sides first. Let's take right over left, so it could be a hug, back of the hands together, or a full wrap. Any way you do it, pull the shoulders back and down, make a trench, tilt those elbows out, and if you're gonna go with me for legs, it's gonna be left leg over right. You can make it a standing figure four like we just did, or you can continue to wrap that foot around and go full eagle. Don't lose the tilt of the elbows so that you're getting that good stretch across your shoulders, that area that we sometimes hold our tension. And release, shake it out. All right, let's go to the other side. We start with our arms out, left over right this time. Find your best stretch across the shoulder blades. Left leg over right if you choose to do balance, or choose the squat position, goddess legs, or chair legs. Two more breaths. And release, shake that out. All right, we're gonna take it down in a garland. If you don't like to do garland, you can go down and you can do a butterfly so that your soles of your feet are together and your knees are falling open toward the floor. If you're gonna go garland with me, take your feet a little wider than hips distance. We're gonna try to go into this in one smooth move, but you can wiggle it around if you need to. Take those arms out to the side. We're gonna inhale up. And just like we know exactly where we're going, sink it down. Right in between those knees. If you need to adjust a little, adjust. You can go into your butterfly if you choose. Otherwise, use those elbows to open the knees a little wider. Make a trench between your shoulder blades when you're doing that, and just breathe here, feeling. For me, it's Achilles, calf, inner leg, ankle, kind of a stretch. Trying to catch everything today with something. Two more breaths. Beautiful. Work your way to seated. If you haven't already, extend your legs in front. Bring the feet together and point the toes up. We're going to come into staff pose, reaching around behind. Spine nice and tall. Curling the shoulders back. So right now, the thing I want you to feel is the back of your legs. Make sure they're going towards the floor, whether they're connected to the floor or working their way down. And then as you lean forward, if that increases your stretch, you can let go and reach for your shins or your toes. But if you get completely off the ground when you do that, I suggest you back off a little and really work to get those legs down to the ground. Let them release. And we breathe. Beautiful. Work your way back up and take the legs wide. So we have the same kind of action from sitting bone to heel, connecting, toes pointing up, and we're pressing those legs down. You can use your hands behind you to get settled into your best position, downward motion of the legs to release, but then you can add on by reaching out in front or reaching for the toes or folding forward. Taking your best stretch here, wide-legged forward bend from the seated position. 2 more breaths. And release. All right, we're gonna turn it around here and roll onto our backs, bringing those knees into our chest. So take a few hugs, knees to chest, rocking side to side or circling from the tailbone, releasing some lower back tension. When you're ready, if you're ready, take it to happy baby. Take those feet wide. Bring those knees down to your armpits and rock. We're going to place our feet down now. Take them wide so that they're almost off the edges of the mat. Bring your arms down alongside. We're going to drop one knee and then the other. Windshield wipers. Just dropping and rolling. For me, I can feel that IT band, hip, maybe a little glute. And then as we're doing this, I want you to think about a final stretch. Before we move into our Shavasana resting, I'm going to start some music, let you take a final stretch, whether that be a pigeon or knees to one side, arms out to a T, or a butterfly, all over stretch, whatever you want to do. Find your final stretch and then take a moment or two and just rest.